Today's lesson is called Coffee Culture Around the World. Hello, everyone. My name is Jeff.
My name is Roger, and today we're going to continue talking about coffee culture around the world. Now, of course, if you want to be a coffee connoisseur, we tend to think that you should enjoy coffee the European way, especially the Italian way. That's where espresso comes from. So, yes, if we say we're going to enjoy a cup of wonderful coffee, people think, yes, you're going to have a cappuccino or an espresso, the Italian way. But last time we mentioned that coffee culture actually came from Ethiopia and is spread to Turkey and other Middle Eastern countries. But today we're actually going to go to Italy and talk about the coffee culture of Venice.
Yeah, I knew that in Italy that they take their coffee very, very seriously, but I thought that coffee actually came from South America. I always heard that Colombia, up there in the mountains of Colombia, they grow the best coffee in the world. But here's a big surprise. Coffee culture did not originate in Italy, and coffee itself did not originate in Colombia either. Both of these things, coffee and coffee culture, got their start in Ethiopia. How cool is that? What a fun fact. But yes, other places around the world do take coffee very seriously, and coffee culture too. And yes, Italy has got to be on the top of this list, or somewhere near the top of this list of the countries who have, one, coffee culture, and two, who take their coffee very seriously. Anyways, let's go ahead and start talking about Italian coffee culture. We'll do so right after this.
After Venice began importing coffee beans in the 16th century, Italy became the heart of modern coffee culture. Italians often start their day with an espresso or a cappuccino, both invented in Italy, but the way they drink it is anything but ceremonial. Coffee is usually consumed in the blink of an eye as the coffee drinker stands at the bar. In the afternoon, Italians like to refuel with a shot of espresso, reserving coffee drinks with milk for breakfast time only.
大家好，第一部分我们看到片语 in the blink of an eye 表示转眼之间、瞬间。例如 Ron arrived in the blink of an eye after I called him. Ron 在我打给他之后一下子就到了。或是 After the freshly baked cookies were set out, they disappeared in the blink of an eye. 在现烤饼干摆出来之后，一眨眼就没了。另外补充几个相关片语。第一 in a flash, F-L-A-S-H, in a flash.表示瞬间、迅速的，像是 The chef had the order prepared in a flash. 那位主厨一下子就把点菜做好了。第二 Before you can blink, B-L-I-N-K, Before you can blink, 表示很快的。举例来说 You won't have to wait long. I'll be back before you can blink. 你不用等很久，我很快就会回来。接着我们看到动词 refuel, 指给点点点补充燃料。课文中作为比喻用法，指提振精神、补充体力。例如 Kevin likes to refuel with a cup of coffee after a long meeting. 在 Kevin 开了一个很长的会议之后，喜欢喝一杯咖啡提振精神。或是 We had to refuel the car twice during the long drive to my grandmother's house. 我们开车到我奶奶家的长途旅程上，需要给车子补充2次燃料。
Okay, today we're going to talk about Italian coffee. And of course, there are various places in Italy that we all know about, but the most famous place in Italy because of its canals and stuff would be Venice. So Venice began importing coffee beans in the 16th century. Now, after they started importing coffee beans from other places in the 1500s, Italy became the heart of modern coffee culture, and it remains so to this day. Whenever we want to have fine coffee, we think of Italian coffee because they kind of put their own touch on coffee there. Although, to be fair, there are other ways to enjoy coffee throughout the world. But right now we're going to talk about coffee in Venice.
There you go. Coffee culture got its start there in Ethiopia. But Italy is the heart of modern coffee culture, the new coffee culture, so to speak. Anyways, Italians often start their day with an espresso or a cappuccino, both invented in Italy, but the way they drink it is anything but ceremonial. Will it take a few hours for them to drink their espresso or their cappuccino? Is there a long ceremony with people dressed in white pouring coffee without spilling a drop? No. Usually the Italians there, they drink their coffee quickly. Now, the quality of coffee there is super high and important, but they do consume the coffee pretty quickly. Sometimes they just take a shot of espresso. It might be over in a blink of an eye. Anyways, it says here, coffee is usually consumed in the blink of an eye as the coffee drinker stands at the bar. So there you go. You start your day. You go out there to a coffee bar, a cafe. You stand at the bar. You order your espresso, and then when it comes, you pound it down. You drink it quickly in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, of course, when you blink, your eyelid closes because you need to move that liquid around your eye. Otherwise, it starts to feel uncomfortable. It's not the same thing as winking. If you wink at somebody, that means you close one eye in order to signal to someone about some information. Maybe you're trying to get a boy or a girl interested in you. But in this particular case, we're talking about blinking when your eyes basically close automatically as you go throughout your day. So, of course, that happens really quickly. So, in the blink of an eye refers to something happening rather quickly. I was going to ask Jane to dance with me, but she disappeared in the blink of an eye. She was gone. I didn't have a chance to ask her to marry me, or at least dance with me. But in any case here, coffee is consumed quite quickly. They just kind of slug it right on down. They slam it down their throat because they've got other things to do.
Yeah, if you're not paying attention, you can miss it. Okay, that person orders their coffee and in a blink of an eye. Now, in the morning, you can either have an espresso or a cappuccino, okay? In the afternoon, you can also have coffee, but you know what? You're not going to have a cappuccino. Why? Well, in the afternoon, we learn Italians like to refuel with a shot of espresso, reserving coffee drinks with milk for breakfast time only. A cappuccino does have milk in it, so in the morning, go ahead, knock yourself out, have that cappuccino. But in the afternoon, no, you don't do that. You have your espresso. So you can have espresso pretty much any time during the day, but those coffee drinks with milk in them, you can only have them in the morning in Italy. And I guess this does make sense. I've heard of people who like their coffee black, but in the morning they will put some milk in it because it's easier on their belly in that way. But otherwise, black coffee is the way to go. It just tastes more pure in that way. Now, it also says here that Italians like to refuel with a shot of espresso. So here, if you refuel, okay, you do something to revive yourself. Before, you might have felt tired, fatigued, exhausted. Oh, how leo. And then you go ahead and you pound a shot of espresso and you feel all right once again. You feel like you're coming back to life. You feel refueled.
So maybe they've had their afternoon siesta and they're ready to get up and start working again, but they need a little jolt. They need a little boost, so they have that quick shot of espresso. A shot of something is just a small amount of something. Sometimes people will order a shot of whiskey in a bar, but in Italy they go to an espresso bar and have a shot of espresso. And they reserve coffee drinks that include milk or maybe cream for breakfast time only. So yeah, to reserve something for something else means that you do it only then. And perhaps you could reserve a table for 6 o'clock tonight for dinner at your favorite restaurant. And that's the phrase here, to reserve something for something else for a specific purpose. So yes, they reserve the coffee drinks with milk for breakfast time only. That's the only time of the day that they have those kinds of coffee drinks, the ones with milk, like cappuccino, like latte, and some of these other wild drinks that Starbucks have thought up. Well, that means it's time to take a break now, so let's move on now to the second part of the lesson, and we'll listen to it first.
Asia, traditionally associated with tea drinking, has experienced a boom in coffee shops in recent years with the help of the rise in popularity of Instagram. These days, cute cafes are scattered all over cities in Japan, Taiwan, and Vietnam, offering picture-worthy drinks, pastries, and decor that people can enjoy.
第二部分我们看到单字 associate 这个字是动词，指联想，使有关联，像是 be associated with 就表示与点点点联想在一起，与点点点有关。例如 Mitch wants to find a job that is associated with design. Mitch 想要找一份与设计相关的工作。另外，这个字也可以当名词，当名词时念作 associate， 指伙伴、同事。我们可以说 Alan is an associate of Dave's from the office. Alan 是 Dave 办公室的同事。接着我们看到名词 boom， 指数量成长，经济景气繁荣。举例来说Demand for electric vehicles is booming in Europe and the United States. 电动车的需求在欧洲和美国增长。或是 The local economy boomed when oil was discovered. 发现石油后，当地经济迅速发展起来。另外，补充一个相关片语 boom or bust. B-U-S-T. Boom or bust. 表示繁荣或萧条、荣衰。像是 In times of boom or bust.Patrick's family sticks together. 不论时局好坏 Patrick 的家人都能紧紧相守在一起。再来我们看到单字 scatter 这个字是动词，指使散布在各处，分散。我们可以说 The storm scattered leaves all across the backyard. 这场暴风将树叶吹得后院到处都是。另外补充一个相关片语 be scattered with 表示遍布着点点点，到处都是点点点。举例来说 The living room was scattered with toys that the child had forgotten to put away. 客厅里到处都是那个孩子忘记收起来的玩具。最后我们看到名词 decor 指装潢，风格装饰布局。例如 The decor of this restaurant is stunning, but the food isn't that good. 这间餐厅的装潢很棒，但食物就不怎么好吃了。
Okay, I have heard that even though tea is king in England, that people have started to come around. Sure, people still take their tea very seriously in England, but coffee culture has kind of become a thing there in England. Maybe it's not as big as tea, but it's there. It's growing, and the same goes for Asia. Yeah, Asia, traditionally associated with tea drinking, has experienced a boom in coffee shops in recent years with the help of the rise in popularity of Instagram. I did not expect that. I thought you were going to talk about the rise in popularity of delicious coffee shops, or these coffee shops that feature some of the best coffees in the world, but apparently we're talking about the rise in popularity of Instagram, or IG. By the way, popularity, okay, that's the level to which something is popular, famous, well-known, so on and so forth. So right now, Instagram is extremely popular. It has a lot of popularity.
Yeah, if we think of Asia, you know, like China, Japan, Korea, Taiwan, etc., we tend to associate those countries with tea drinking. That means people think of tea drinking when they think of Asia, okay? They're kind of related to each other. Asia and tea drinking kind of go together. But coffee drinking has experienced a boom in coffee shops. So yes, indeed, that's true here in Taiwan. Of course, we've got coffee shops all over the place. Even though Taiwan has the greatest tea in the world, still coffee shops are extremely popular because I guess they come out with these new drinks that have pretty designs with foam and cups and stuff like that. So people just got to take those pictures and post them on Instagram to get those likes and to get those followers.
There you go. That's where the Instagram comes in. Now, these days, cute cafes are scattered all over cities in Japan, Taiwan, and Vietnam, offering picture-worthy drinks, pastries, and decor that people can enjoy. So these cafes are usually cute in that they are tiny, they're small, they're comfy, they're cozy, and they feature all sorts of adorable stuff.
And lots of photo ops. Photo opportunities so that you can post selfies online. That's what it's all about. That's what people in Asia and the rest of the world like to do here. So yes, you've got those cute cafes spread all over cities in these various countries. We've got the word scatter here, which kind of means they're just in various places spread out over a large area. You could say they're spread out over cities in Japan, Kyoto, Osaka, etc. Here in Taiwan, Kaohsiung, Taipei, Taichung, and Vietnam, Saigon, Hanoi, etc. etc. All those places have these cute cafes, and they offer you picture-worthy drinks. And the drinks, of course, are cute. They're in wonderful cups. You can probably pose with your drink in front of a great backdrop or something. We've also got pastries to go with those cups of coffee. Pastries are kinds of bread that are baked and cooked and prepared in various ways. You've got bakeries all over Taiwan that sell all sorts of pastries. And then, of course, you've got the decor, how the cafe is decorated. My goodness, you could spend all your life taking pictures in coffee shops and never run out of photo ops.
Anyways, folks, with that, it is time for us to take a short break. But when we come back, we'll be wrapping up our article on coffee culture around the world.
Although modern coffee culture might seem like an invention by Starbucks, it's actually the product of a long tradition, with every part of the world putting their own spin on coffee drinking. There are many ways to enjoy a delicious cup of joe, so if you're a coffee lover, you can decide which is the best way to do justice to the humble yet powerful coffee bean.
Okay, let's talk about the final part of today's lesson. Now, I've been in Taiwan for many, many years, and there was a time when there were no Starbucks here in Taiwan. But when Starbucks started to come to Taiwan, my goodness, they opened stores all over the place. So when people think about coffee culture, you could understand that they associate modern coffee culture with Starbucks. It says, although modern coffee culture might seem like an invention by Starbucks, it's actually the product of a long tradition, with every part of the world putting their own spin on coffee drinking. It just happens to be that Starbucks was a chain store from the US that managed to spread all over the world, but that does not mean that Starbucks are the master of coffee. We've got all sorts of traditions going on in all parts of the world, and they've all put their spin on coffee drinking. So here we've got this phrase, to put your own spin on something. That just means to kind of do it your own way that's unique and special.
There you go. You might have a well-established technique for doing something. Maybe you learn how to do that. Okay, you're proficient in doing that, and then you kind of add your own thing to it, okay? In that particular situation, you've taken that well-established technique and you've made it your own. You have put your own spin on it. So this thing still works, but you've made it your own. You have put your own spin on something like coffee drinking. Anyways, there are many ways to enjoy a delicious cup of joe. So if you're a coffee lover, you can decide which is the best way to do justice to the humble yet powerful coffee bean. So there you go. If you are a coffee lover, hey, the world is your oyster right now. You can decide how you want to do your cup of joe.
You have to enjoy a delicious cup of joe. Joe, which means a cup of coffee. If you're a coffee lover, you can decide which way is the best for you. You can do justice to the humble yet powerful coffee bean. So if you do justice to something or someone, it means that you serve them right. You use it in the right way and you don't insult that thing. So yes, the coffee bean is a wonderful thing. So if you make a cup of coffee that is like ground up and cooked in a percolator like they do in the United States, or at least how they did 20 years ago, that is an insult to the coffee bean. You need to do justice to the coffee bean and serve it in a special way.
Yeah, usually people use this phrase in the negative. They'll say that something doesn't do something else justice. Like one time, I was listening to a symphony on a CD at my friend's house, okay? I was sitting there listening to it, enjoying it on the stereo there, and then my friend's father walked in and said, "You're listening to that on a CD? That symphony? Are you kidding? My stereo doesn't do it justice. You have to go to a symphony hall and see that performed live to really understand it, to really make sure that this music is heard properly. Anyways, folks, with that, it is time for us to take a break. But don't worry, don't fret. The Chinese teacher is on her way.
各位同学大家好，我是 Hanny， 我们来看今天的文法重点。课文一开始写到，威尼斯在16世纪开始进口咖啡豆之后，意大利成了现代咖啡文化的中心。好，那么 import 是用来表达进口， export 是用来表达出口。我们来学习它们的字首字根。好， port 表示港口，那么这个字当字根呢，则表示运送、携带或是支撑等等的意思。带有这个字根呢，多半是有这种输送往来的语义。那么在 import 这个字当中，它的字首 im 是来自 in 碰到 b、m、p 等等开头的字根会拼作 im。好，那这个字首呢表示往内， port 表示运送。好，那往内运送应该很容易联想到 import 它有进口、输入或是引进的意思吧。至于 export 或是念作 export， 它的字首 ex 它表示向外，那么 port 表示运送，向外运送呢就表示是出口、输出或是外销咯。那顺便补充两个有相同字根的单字，第一个是 transport transport， 那它的字首 trans 表示跨越、横越， port 表示运送。当我们横越不同的地方，把物品往返运送到不同地方，这样应该可以联想到 transport 它有运送、输送的意思。我们在后面加上名词字尾 ation， 就会变成名词 transportation， 就表示运输系统、交通工具。好，第二个补充的单字是 deport deport， 那它的字首 de 表示离开、远离， port 表示运送，把某人送走，把他送得远远的，应该不难联想到 deport 它有驱逐、遣返或是遣送出境的意思。好，课文第二部分写到说，亚洲在传统上会联想到喝茶，那我们这边来学习 associate A with B 的用法。好，来看 associate 这个字，也有人念作 associate， 那它当动词可以表达联想或是使什么有关联，因此 associate A with B 常见的语义就会有两种，第一个是把 A 和 B 联想在一起，例如People often associate ice cream with summer. 人们经常把冰淇淋和夏天联想在一起。那么第二个语义是使 A 和 B 有关联，例如 These symptoms are associated with anxiety. 这些症状与焦虑症有关联。那这个句子我们是用被动语态表达。好，另外 associate 当动词它还有结交、合伙的意思。Associate oneself with somebody 可以表达跟某人结交往来。Associate oneself with something 则可以表达表明支持、赞同某事物，像是支持某个政治运动之类的。好，那我们来造个例句。She associates herself with people who think positively. 她跟正面思考的人往来，跟这一类的人结交朋友。好，那么以上今天重点整理，我们来回顾今天单字吧。
Refuel. After the long hike, we went to a cafe to refuel. Associate. In Chinese culture, the color red has long been associated with good luck. Boom.Over the last few decades, there has been a boom in the development of new technologies. Popularity. The app has been gaining popularity, especially with teenagers. Scatter. The little boy's toys were scattered around his room. Pastry. That bakery sells delicious pastries, as well as bread and cakes.
Discussion Starter starts now!
All right, folks, now it's time for our discussion starter. Hey, Roger, do you drink coffee? And what type of coffee do you or do you not like?
Well, you know, I used to drink coffee, but I don't drink coffee anymore because every time I go to Starbucks or Louisa, I don't understand the menu. They've changed coffee so much in recent years. I just don't want to look stupid in a coffee shop not knowing what to order. Besides, Taiwan offers some of the greatest oolong tea in the world. I'm perfectly happy to drink local oolong tea. And you guys can keep your coffee. How about you?
I like American-style coffee, and I know this sounds terrible, but I like it because, one, you do get a good taste of coffee, but at the same time, it's been watered down, so you can pretty much drink it all day long, and I like that about American-style coffee in diners all across the United States. Okay, everyone, with that, today's article is now complete, but as always, we sure hope that you guys have enjoyed reading along with us. Anyways, I'm Jeff.
I am Roger.
See you next time.